And so when we were talking about, today and mentioning in the pre-show about manifestation, that part, like I really am at a point right now where, I'm really paying attention to, relationships, you know, who is in my innermost circle as far as personal and professional. Because, you know, the beauty and essence of manifestation is whether we think we can or whether we think we can't, we're right.
You're
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Henry Ford. And so
Build $1,000,000 legacy with purpose.
what's
I
happening?
am Dr. Marnita on fire. I'm so excited today. I'm in Cleveland, like the land. And y'all know, usually I am in Florida. Y'all who live in Cleveland, y'all special because it's been a little bit up for the weather and it's been a lot down for the weather. And like y'all tripping. See, I'm used to that sun, like that sunshine state where it's hot most of the time. Yeah, we get our rain, but nothing as dramatic as the vacillating of the temperature that's going on here in Cleveland. But anyway, that's besides the point. Glad to be here with my sister girl. And for those of you who don't know what I do, like for real, I I am an performance and an achievement coach. And when I walk in a room, achieving walks in and lamenting walks out. We don't take any excuses. And by the way, for those of you who have been following us, y'all got to give it up for the sister for her voice. Because I am back. I am back, hands down, feet to the ground. Let's go. There's no like breakups in my tonality. And I'm gonna let my girl tell you a little bit about her, and so we can get this conversation started.
Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome, everyone. Marnita, I'm loving that the voice is back, which we knew it would be like that. So, this is Tamiko Ruby J here, and I'm super excited. Back from vacation, feeling good, feeling sun-kissed, and all that fun things. Reiki Master teacher and spiritual coach. I don't always say that, but the beautiful thing in it is what I was able to come to on my sabbatical and time celebrating the 61 is that the niche that I am so excited about is I allow people to, number one, I introduce you to you, meaning introducing you to the beauty that's within. Okay, that part, we're going to leave it at that because it can come in a whole lot of packages. But the beauty in it today is we're going to touch on some things like we always do. This is a beautiful conversation that we get to have, and it's live and it's unscripted. All right. How often do we see that unscripted? But it's not like bad reality TV. It's like real reality life. So y'all ready? Let's go.
Let's go. So we told you a little bit about us. Now, y'all know this. Well, most of you should know anyway. This is a platform for build $1,000,000 legacy with purpose. And when Tamiko and I decided to partner, I know that word is still new to her. She'll be okay.
I ain't even looking at the screen.
When we decided to partner,
I looked sideways though. I didn't look sideways though. I was writing my notes. All right, we partner it. Let's go.
So when we decided to partner, like I was saying, she too much.
Wait,
I
you
said,
have no volume.
Huh? I said, Tamiko,
there you go. Okay, cool.
We need a mission. We need a mission. And so we kind of like toss some things back and forth. And so we want to reach 1,000,000+ people. We're nowhere near close, but we owning it. We owning it. And two, the mission is to help you enroll, engage, and encourage you to discover, develop, and deploy your purpose so that you can create an amazing life. That's our mission. And we want to help, no, we want to encourage, assist a million more plus people. And in order to do that, we need your help. Sisters asking for your help. We need you to invite people to the group. Those people you think that would really, these conversations would really add value to their world. And we need you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel in order so our analytics can continue to increase. We are doing good, but we want more. We greedy. Ain't nothing wrong with being greedy, because we greedy for something that we love.
Okay.
And so we're asking you to help us out. And with that, today we talked about a little bit about talking about having a conversation around creation. And I know most people on here have jobs, right, Tamiko?
I hope they have positions. I hope they don't have jobs, but
Well, the traditional work job. And I haven't had one of those in so long, but
I
you
want
know,
to give you
God's
something.
been good. God's been good. But what I want to say is that, like, if you do have a job, I think having a job and having your work are two different conversations, right? So a job is primarily like how you get your paycheck, and that's all well and fine. But your work is your purpose. Like, it is what you work on after you get off of your job in order to create a value system that helps someone else beyond you. And that's what Build $1 Million Legacies kind of like, that's how it was birthed, because it's really not about you. It's about your gifts and your purpose, what you were born to do in order to service other people, in order to please God. And that's really how the whole title of Build $1 Million Legacy with Purpose came about. So I wanted to explain that, so you wouldn't think that that's something that we just threw out there, because there is thought, intentional thought, and critical thinking behind everything that we do. And if we don't get it right the first time, we go and rethink it, rehash it out, and bring it back to you. So, I don't know. I think, Tamika, I'm kind of like itching to start this conversation off about creating. I kind of like mentioned to her, I was having some thoughts around energy, and she started to go off into a whole nother dialogue, like, you know how she do, but that's okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna pass it over to her, and we're gonna do this kind of like back and forth tag team thing today, and I'm hoping that you really enjoy it, because we're gonna have fun. And if you can put some fire in the chat and let us know if this is like getting you inspired, that would help, because right now, during the next, I don't know what, 50 something minutes, is all gas, no brakes. Let's go. Let's get it done. Tamiko?
Awesome. I just will piggyback what you just said about $1 Million Purpose. And what I would say is, you said that we're not there yet. Yeah, we are. They just haven't connected yet. See things a little different. So what I was saying, that's a beautiful thing. What I also what we talked about earlier, pre-show, was the idea and the design around manifestation. Also the design about you said something very interesting about people having a job, and then after their job is when they get to do their work. One of the things that I do in my practice is I help people to see and introduce them to them, so that those two things merge. Because if you are doing something that is not innately what you feel called to do, and you'll know that because you don't want to go in there, and you can't wait to get out. And by the time you get out of it, whether it's now because a lot of people work from home, but when you shut that computer down, and after you shut that computer down, you don't have anything left. You're depleted, okay? Because you went into that practice depleted, okay? Um, one of the things that I am is not what I do. My being is to be in spirit, where my soul and my spirit stays connected, so that I can constantly move around, vibrate in the world from a place of overflow. If I had to do this through Tamiko Ruby J, no one would see me because I would have nothing left. So I just wanted to speak to that part. That's huge. And I
No,
think that's so, yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad you said that because I was having a conversation with someone that I had recently met the other day. And a part of what I do is also, although Tamiko does it in a different way, is I help people, I introduce people to themselves. Like I help you see you, right? And the person was saying, we were having this conversation and they have this project that they are working on. And they said, well, Dr. Marnita, I really just feel stuck. Like I've had this dream. I was like, that dream is your vision. They say it's reoccurring. I said, well, that's really good. And then they say, well, I'm at a block, I'm at a bypass. I can't push through. I said, have you tried to tap into your superconscious? Then they say, I know I heard something about that, but I don't know how to do that. I'm like, that's my jam. Like me, I'm saying, that's my jam. And they said, well, can you help me with that? I said, like I had to because that's something, it's a learned process over time. And it requires spending more time with you, the real you, the inner you. And most times we don't find ourselves, we had touched on this in our last conversation, we don't find ourselves spending times with ourselves too much and getting to know us for who we are, not who people project onto us that we are.
Mhm.
And so I said, well, one thing that I told them was in order to really kind of tap into that higher level super conscious, which for me, and I've told Tamiko this before, which is the Holy Spirit, right? Who is all knowing, is that you have to let go of the control and everything that you think you have learned over time in order to get a higher level of knowledge of what's possible for you to move forward. And they said, that's the hardest thing for me to do. And I said, that's why you can't do it, because you believe in your heart of hearts. That's the hardest thing for me to do.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
And let me just say this, because I've told Tamiko some of the things that I have experienced as a result of me having practice tapping into my superconscious. And once you get to that point, it is not hard to do, but it takes some real management of several things: your emotions, your energies, like relinquishing control of old thought patterns. Tamiko, I might say, Tamiko, this is one of my favorite words: programming, letting go of some of that programming and recoding. I think we had this conversation a couple of conversations ago, to replace, rewire, and reframe and pre-frame like things in order to
Mhm.
move forward. So I thought that when you said that, that reminded me of a conversation that I was having with someone just this week, because if you're going to create anything, it's going to be outside of the realm of what you think you know.
Mhm. Mhm. And also, what I would say to that is this sounds like a person that has this dream, has got it flowing, is moving in it. And when you get to those places where all of a sudden you have this block, right? To speak to the subconscious, superconscious, the real simple way that I would speak to that is, so what was said or what happened the day that you lost your momentum? Because
That,
when we talk,
yeah, that's a really good question, and one that I did not ask.
right, and so let me finish 1 second. These are ways to be able to get to the root of some of the things that we're talking about without going through the traditional cycles of going step by step by step by step back from that. Because as soon, it sounds like this person feels like it's a gentleman, sounds like this person was there, it was there, and something triggered that caused them to stop, and then to start the stinking thinking to start coming through. Okay.
Mhm.
And so,
I
go ahead.
think I believe and what they're doing, their project is so amazing. So when they told me about their project, the first thought that came to my mind when they told me about their project, I said, this is an Emmy award-winning project.
Mhm.
And I think they were really amazed that I didn't know them like that. I was just going off
What they
what
presented.
what they were saying and how it really married my energy.
Hmm.
And I have never said that about anybody.
Hmm.
I don't even know this person well.
Hmm.
But when they were sharing with me what it was, what the project was, and what they do, I'm like, my my energy, my conscience, my that higher level of thinking
Hmm.
said Emmy award winning.
Hmm.
And they got excited because it's not the first time someone has referred to their project kind of like in that way.
Hmm.
And they're on the precipice of the next level.
Hmm.
And they're looking for that thing that's that thought, that idea, that topic that's going to push them to the next level.
Okay.
And I'm so excited for them.
Hmm.
But there's some work, of course, that is still needs to be done.
So when you were speaking with that person and they were sharing it, did they have excitement?
They did have excitement. Oftentimes I wish outside of you, because you do this for me too, I wish I had more people to speak to me like that, you
Right
know?
there. Did you
Yeah.
oh, they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. That part there. Okay. Yep, I did. I just went kindred on y'all. Sure did. Because if you see at the beginning of that song, I knew a chance would come for me to bring that in. But at the beginning of that song, what do he say? Psst, I see dead people.
Ooh, yes. And can
So
you tell them about the dead people, Tamiko?
I want to speak to this though. So, like you said, I wish I had more people around me that fill me up, that celebrate me, that surround me. I'm going to tell you, you know that you got more of those around you if at the end of your day, like we were just talking about, this stuff will circle around to speak to just what we're talking about. When the person's has a lack of purpose, I'll just say, or centering. I'm not even going to go into what all of the different definitions of what that can mean. But when a person gets there and gets to that low, right? That is my analogy of dead people. Okay. because there's no life, there's no synergy, there's no energy, there's no, like, this person that you spoke to, when you got excited about that project, they probably be like, they got sparked, right? That energy came up like, yeah, so you think so? You believe you, nobody said, wow, okay. I know I'm everybody's hype person, but the difference in me and a lot of people, I'm not just hyping you because I saw you and it sounds cool to do. My thing is, if I see you and if I feel it and if I say it, it's there for you. What I've learned throughout my years of practice, and we talked about this before, I can see it all day long. I can feel it all day long, but it's yours. It's on
Yeah,
you. It is
that's
100%
right.
on you. So if your innermost circle, and yes, we got different, I'm learning about the different levels of people and how you have them in certain places and all of this. But at the core of who you are, if you have to look at who you are and who do you have surrounding you, who are your go-to, who are the people that pour into you, because people say people are energy vampires because people feed off of you, but what kind of warlord are you if you got all of these people that feed off of you? What does that say about you? Might say you're a little empty because you got all these people that's constantly pulling on you, and you sad, and you're saying, I don't understand, nobody's here for me, and I give to everybody, and you still giving while you whining.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean? So that when we talk about dead
And
people,
I was being, I hope y'all can appreciate that. Um, I was being vulnerable right there. And I think vulnerability is so important because it grows tentacles to so many other different things. If you can't be vulnerable, I can't trust you. Like, you are not in a corner for a relationship. And if you want to know what that means, see our last conversation.
right?
So,
And
uh,
vulnerability is also about us trusting ourselves. It's
yeah,
trusting our to know that I can speak my truth. I can share my innermost me, and I'm at a healed space where I don't worry about the judgment. I don't care about the judgment because I've healed that piece of me, and I'm going to share my vulnerability because I'm still working through that. I'm probably more vulnerable in this last probably 2 to 3 years than I've ever been in my life. One of the beautiful things about being able to do the work and take off the armor, you
yeah.
feel slightly exposed a little bit. And that's why I moved to the desert, because if I was going to get vulnerable and be exposed and take off all of my spiritual armor, it needed to be hot. So I went to where it's 121 degrees in the shade, baby. So here we are. And now back in Cleveland, where the weather just does this. And
Oh
we
my
still,
God. I
we
don't
still,
even want to get on that tangent right now.
we
Like,
still shine.
This Cleveland weather is,
It's
whew,
everything. It's everything. But it's the beauty in Cleveland weather. Cleveland weather for me is an analogy on life, because at
here,
any
please
point in
here.
time, it's subject to change, right? But you have to be really, really in a space where no matter what the weather does, you still have to be solid and grounded in who you are, right? The other
Yes.
thing that's really cool, I guess I didn't realize, and you probably know, Dr. Marnita, because in Florida, like on the highway, isn't the speed limit 75?
Girl, is the legal, interesting. The legal limit is 70, but the non-spoken limit is like 80.
Right. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so in Arizona it's 75, right? So I'm like, oh, so
Oh,
I had to slow down because I'm rolling like I roll, like I've been rolling for the last. But what's interesting about Cleveland, right? Everybody on the highway, they kind of poking along, and then you got that one person that's like speeding because who knows where they're trying to go to. But what I also notice is when there's implement weather, that's when people want to drive 75. I'm like,
mm,
this is different. This is different. So we're going to run the chance of driving reckless when there's hazardous road conditions. Okay.
That's
Versus,
interesting.
you see what I'm saying? Versus taking our time following the guidelines that will get you there safely. But we gonna try to do this thing where we're gonna go faster when the weather is hazardous. I was like, wow, that's different. Y'all see, everything when I'm in something, I think about it different. But I did a meditation on that because that I'm like, wow. Now I've been here. I've been back almost a year now, and this now having seen the seasons change daily. Um, I thought about that because I'm like, and I'm talking about people that would be flying doing 60 and 70, and it's raining. I mean, torrential downpours where you're going to hydroplane, okay? Because if it's just dumping water, like we know that. Like I don't know about in Florida, but in Arizona, if it rains, they call them monsoons, and it's really just a thunderstorm. People will come to a stop or slow all the way down. But here, no,
Yeah.
they speed up and sliding out their
Well,
lanes, and it's
if
like,
if
oh
if we talked about that story as it relates to like how a lot of people do emotionally, right?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Like when
yeah.
you emotionally all over the place, you think doing more of everything is going to resolve the remote that all of those emotions that's going on with it and you don't slow down and evaluate where you are, because if you continue to plow through all of that stuff emotionally, like you're like going on high speed through the turbulence um conditions, you're going to hydroplane emotionally at some
That's
point.
it's reckless, right?
It's
So when
reckless.
it's reckless. And so when we were talking about, today and mentioning in the pre-show about manifestation, that part, like I really am at a point right now where, I'm really paying attention to, relationships, you know, who is in my innermost circle as far as personal and professional. Because, you know, the beauty and essence of manifestation is whether we think we can or whether we think we can't, we're right.
You're right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Henry Ford. And so what's also very fun right now, because I'm watching, I'm witnessing firsthand some people that I've been working with. And the hardest people in the world to work with are people that know you.
Mm.
You know, I don't have to go to the gym and lift weights because I'm carrying the weight and lifting folks up. They heavy as hell. You 300-pound people rolling with me. I'm like, I'm about to put y'all down because I'm right here all day. I don't have to carry y'all.
Right.
But that's spiritually. But what's so beautiful about watching these two amazing people? One person I was working with, and watching the manifestation of her just switching and knowing, able to know her value, her true value, the true essence of who she is, and allowing her spiritual gifting to come through and show. Like everybody's spiritual gifts, you're not going to be running around with really in incense and feathers and pendulums. No disrespect. That's how you work. Yeah, you. Okay. Your gifting may come through in different ways. But
Mhm.
if you allow yourself to truly know the value in who you are, and all of that comes in sync, baby, next level. We talking double to six-figure position. I mean, 8 weeks, 8 weeks, got it done, got it done. Just
Mhm.
talk, just text my sister today and was like, "Hey, congratulations on everything on your road trip." No, she's in AZ, getting ready to go to California because it's like Cleveland, Chicago. And so she takes me back, just landed. I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, I thought about what you said about time. And it would have cost me the same in gas, but it would have took me 6 hours. This is an hour flight. I threw my phone. Now, this is a person that, like, I can't afford. And I was like, you probably can't, you know,
Because whether
even
you can or you think you can't, it's
you're
true.
right. You're right. And this is a really good friend that I've known for over 20 years. And even with us working together, because she was like, I want to work with you, but I don't know if I can afford you. And I said, then you probably can't. You let me know when you're ready. I did not.
Stop, wait a minute, stop right there, whether or not I can afford you, because that landed with me a certain kind of way.
I saw it.
Girl, I had to stop you. I'm so sorry, but
No,
listen,
no, okay. Come on, bring it up. Tell you what I said.
so when you say something like that, it's not about whether you can afford her, it's how much you're willing to invest in you.
That's it. And
Not
and
about affording her. It's about investing in you.
and I'll take it even more personal. I'll take it even deeper. It's about knowing you're worthy.
Ooh, because that is one of the major, like one of 6 or 7, no, one of 12 things that people have. Um, they keep bumping up against that wall. I'm not worthy. I'm not
I,
enough.
well,
I'm not
it don't,
perfect. I'm not
you
blah,
could
blah, blah.
so you could even come up with the investment, but I don't even want your investment. I'm not even going to take you on until you take on the fact that you are worthy. This is about you. That you know that this is not going to it's not going to penalize you. You're not going to not eat, whatever the case may be, but more so that you know that you are worthy, that we next step in this thing. It's so beautiful. It's about you manifesting the idea that you are willing to invest in yourself and your time because you're worthy,
Mm, mm. You know,
right?
what else that made me just think about? In Proverbs, it says, it may cost you all you have, but you must get understanding. Though it may cost you all you have, you must get understanding. That understanding in this context of the conversation is an understanding of who you are.
That's it. That's
It
it.
may cost you everything I mean, that's a biblical principle.
Mhm. And that's
It's
it.
all you're getting. Get understanding.
Yeah,
Wisdom is the first part. And they break that thing down into levels because you have to be willing to relinquish what you know and get back to the state of being ignorant. Because ignorance is just a lack of truth.
that's it.
Right?
That's it. Yeah.
And
And
then
sometimes
when you start to accumulate truth, that becomes your knowledge. And then once you have the knowledge, you have to understand that. So you have to assimilate that knowledge. That becomes your understanding. And when you get wisdom, you're now beginning to apply what you have assimilated in understanding in order to become a master over your destiny.
yeah, yeah. And wisdom also comes from marinating because
That too.
most wise folks, they don't talk, they observe.
Yeah. Observe. Yeah.
They observe. And often what happens in that processing that you were just speaking on, when you start to go into some spaces and some places of yourself, you're going to lose certain parts of yourself. Certain parts of yourself are going to die because
Has
it
to.
no longer serves you. Okay, it's time to let that go. And when you do let it go, we talked about this before, when you start to truly manifest into who you are. I think it's funny that when the spiritual consciousness shows us an angel, an angel has wings, and where are those wings normally located?
Put it on the body.
And where are the wings on the body located?
I think
On
about it, Tamiko.
on their back, right?
Oh, okay, on their back. Okay, yeah, yeah,
On their
yeah, yeah,
back.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So what God is saying, I got your back. I'm going to lift you up. Don't you
Mm,
think it's very interesting when they show demonic or anything like that? Where
mm-hmm.
the horns show up
On the head.
on your head. And usually when they start right here. And what are we always talking about? The mind.
The
Okay.
prefrontal cortex.
There you go. So I think it's just interesting, even from uh, the way I look at things is from a spiritual connection. When you are operating from here, probably, but when you are operating from a higher consciousness, you got wings. You're gonna elevate and vibrate at a much higher level because the divine has your back. When we in there trying to figure it out, bringing all them thoughts, doing all the things, and I don't know about y'all, but my head is pretty doggone hard.
No,
It is pretty
that's a
doggone
good
hard.
analogy. That's a great analogy because when you just said when the horns are here on your prefrontal cortex, like that's where the duality comes in, and then the nature of duality, because like the horns can't be on the back. If the back is an indication of a revelation of where God lifts you from, the two cannot coexist in the same space.
That's it. And
That is
if
that is
And
deep.
see, this is the type of when you ask me, and so thank you, Marnita, because you asked me several times, like Tamiko, you don't say what you do. These are the type, this is the type of coaching or mentoring that I get from the spiritual capacity of which I work. I had somebody said she was trying to tell somebody about our sessions together or what I do with her. And she was like, and the person said, okay, and these corporate people, and she was like, the person was like, is she psychic? I was like, don't be cussing at me. No, it's not psychic. It might be a prophecy that comes through, but it comes from a higher level of reference and of divine consciousness that takes it to that level. I see it from that very early state. And so even my mom went out when she was like, "Nah, I ain't never heard that before." And I said, "Yeah,
That
I'm
was
sure."
good. That was
And
good.
that just came to me, I kid you not, because when I was on vacation, one of the things I love in Arizona is to go hiking, and we all me and my godson, we always go hiking like as high up as we can get. So we go to Flagstaff. And while while we were on the trail, that came to me because at one point I felt myself pulling forward, like trying to, and I'm like, whoa, 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 that's not going to be good on your back, right? Because I'm always feeling what's going on. And so when I leaned back, even though we were on an incline, what came to me is like, wow, like I leaned back and leaned in and grounded and started working from my legs instead of from my back. I'm like, where I need my wings right now. And I said that, and my guy, so he started laughing, and I was like, wow. And I started thinking about that. And I started thinking about what were some of the things that were going through my mind when I started, pulling forward. Okay, number one, I'm like, oh, I'm thirsty, or oh, I hope I don't mess up my knee. Like all of these interesting things started going through my back, and I'm like, you get in your mind. Then the next thing you know, I had this little twinge of, you know, oh wait, are you dehydrated? Because if you get dehydrated, you'll get a little tight, like slight headache. When I just was like, hold on, push all that out, stand up straight, like shoulders went back, okay, and started to move forward. So when we got to the top of the hill or top of the whatever the mountain, what was really cool, we sat, we meditated, we just said, let's find a seat, did our meditation, didn't time it or anything. And that's what came to me, that analogy of like, wow, when God has us, and lifts us up, you always gonna see an angel with wings. They ain't on your forehead. They ain't they are coming wide, big out of your back. Even when they show a phoenix, even when they show a dragon, the wings are always back here. But man, when you show a bull, where are the horns? Charging at you this way. When you show the devil, okay, where are the horns? Even the knots start here and come up here. And I was like, wow. So when we get in the way with our thinking, bullhead,
Thank you.
this
Mhm.
thing, we getting in the way of our blessing. And the minute I switched that that hike, that walk, that run got easy. It got easier. Now I'm out here hiking with a 30-year-old. Maybe,
Mhm.
okay. And then you know that Cleveland and me, I'm not going to be outdone.
Of
But I
course.
also don't want to be life lifted off of the doggone mountain by, because you know that's embarrassing too. When people fall out and they have to get the helicopter to come and bring them down, that is the worst. And I was like, I don't ever want that to be me, and it won't. But yeah, that's not good. That's
So,
not a good. That's not good.
so this is really good. So what we've been, as if I want to summate what we've been doing here, the topic of the conversation in the description is it's all about creation. And what we've done, hopefully, is laid out some aspects of different types of ways in order to move forward in your creation process. We've mentioned several things in this conversation, and you might want to go back and take some notes. But do you think, no, you don't think. So I
Yes. Come on. Come
I
on. Come
I believe, let me just say what I believe.
on. Okay.
Let me just say what I believe.
Okay.
I believe we have an obligation
Okay.
to create things of value that we can systematize in order to leave a legacy for others to thrive into. That's what I believe. Um, and I think I know that you can't do it by yourself, which is why we're partners.
Okay. Um, say
But
that
at the
again.
same,
Say
at the
that again. Yeah.
same, say,
Say that.
which part?
The whole the what you believe. Say your belief again. I just wanna.
I believe
Mhm.
we have a responsibility
Okay.
to create value in a way that is systematic in order to help others, in order to leave behind, in order to help others to thrive and move that system, that value system, even further as they go into their future. So it's this propagation of value.
Mhm.
And we
Okay.
all have a responsibility to create that for each other
Okay. Okay.
in a way uh, that pleases the one who created us.
Okay. 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 That's a big load.
I'm not playing small. You know what, Tamiko? And this is for everybody else. Here's my vulnerability right now.
Okay.
I have played small for most of my life.
Mhm.
I've always known, although have not expressed,
Mhm.
um, that I have more. And at some point, I got tired of playing small, trying to fit into a realm where I didn't belong.
Mhm.
And the unique discontent was so strong that I have been interested in thought excellence my entire life, like the whole brain chemistry thing. I never knew why I went to get a PhD in chemistry. Apparently, this is why. Um, but that whole brain chemistry, the neurotransmitters and the synapses and the whole atoms and the molecules and the protons and the neutrons, like all Avogadro's number of them and all of these energy circles within our body and what that means. Like, I didn't know why I was getting a PhD in chemistry, but it was preparing me for acquiring the knowledge to do a deeper dive into what all that means for me. And
Nice.
I can't have these types of conversations with everybody, but I'm having it with the world now. And I don't feel any kind of way, because what I used to feel is like people were going to think I'm kind of like eccentric, like I'm talking out of the side of my ears or something like that. But you'll be okay. So if this is not for you, it's okay. I'm good with that, but I have to like resolve my own unique discontent and just share it, because I think it has value for people, something which they can begin to find themselves, like who they are, because I think most people have not met the real them.
Nice. I just want to piggyback something. I was taking notes when you just said that. And first of all, salute. Okay. Salute. Because being able to speak to vulnerability is one thing, being able to be seen in vulnerability is another. So, salute.
Thank you.
You said something that was really, 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 really powerful. You said, you are more. No, no, no. You said, I have more. I have more of you. There is more of you to give, the value and what you have to give. But I'm gonna say this, and all of this brightness that is behind you, and the everything, you have more because you are more. And the value and what that you bring, the validation was stamped the day you was born. And the fact that you have a brilliant mind, and it's, you're able to see um, processes through calculations and atoms and neutrons and all of those things, that you just opened up a whole new understanding just then. Like, wow, that is, when you say brilliant mind. And then what I also wrote down is, he said, I don't know how you said it, but what I heard was, you are uniquely divine. And so in how you show up, like, my 118 coming out, if you even show up to some of this stuff, it's truly a blessing. Because in the way that you present it, in the way that you shine, there will be people that get you, because it's going to bring the dynamics of folks that that can. You might be in that 1 or that 2% of very there's a difference in calculating and calculus.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay. But calculus from a spiritual perspective is when you hear, when you see strategies, right? When you hear something, when you see this work, when you hear how the mind works, you're able to break it down in uh, a scientific, mathematical, mental, and spiritual concept that's going to give you tools. Okay? That is what's so cool. And you just clarified the partnership, because see, mine is, I go straight to source, like boom, like, oh, but wait, maybe just in case you're like, how did we get here? Oh, hold on. That's where Dr. Marnita come in, because like when you were talking about the situation with the person, like you saw Academy Award winning, you saw like commerce action, all of this, and this person was excited. They're telling you how to get there, but some kind of way they came to a block. And we attract who we are,
Yes.
or we going to attract where we've been. Okay, because we get presented with lessons until we learn. And so that's those of us, that's why coaching I feel the dynamic of coaching right now, or the platform of coaching, is so big
Mhm.
because number one, it's not really regulated. That's number one. Number two is because people have a tendency to connect to or vibrate with or are drawn to something in someone they either have a connection with or they feel irritated by. Either
Yeah.
one of them is going to grab your attention. So, with that being said, what's so beautiful about the dynamics of what's happening here in Lifetime is the fact that you actually get to see two professional, domineering, and
Mhm.
that's us strong-willed, um, um, educated in life wisdom, as well as in Marnita's case, as well as in academics, and to have a science, to have a scientific mind that is a chemist. I'm excited now because I can't wait till I'm calling you later. Okay. Oh my goodness. Because so much just came up with that. Like, oh, wait,
Yeah.
that
Yeah. I
you just
always want
opened up. Oh
I
man.
always wonder what that foundation was about because it was never because I wanted to be a professor of chemistry or anything
No,
like that.
no,
It was something so different beyond my here we go full circle again, beyond my own understanding.
that part. That part. That part. Y'all know this. Okay, I'm calling my sister out. It's interesting that this is happening live because normally, she has pink behind her, right? And so if we think about the chakras, pink is part of like the is a root color. Well, it comes from the root color red. But today, here I go with my chakras, y'all. Y'all know I'm a little different. My sister up here, she real smart. She heady. She gonna come with the science. I'm gonna come with the spirit. Today, she is sitting up here brightly with yellow around her, right? So red or pink is about the root. It's about the grounding, the centering, the root of all that is that brings us to where we are. Okay. Today, you have yellow around you, and what are you doing? You are sitting up here being 100% vulnerable, telling your truth, because yellow is the relationship we have with ourselves.
Ooh wee. See what she do, y'all.
I'm sitting up here giggling. I'm like, this is so good. You can't make this stuff up. And I'm like, what's she
Uh,
talking about? So you know how Dr. Marnita just went there with all of the physics and everything, and she gonna break that thing down in chemistry and blow your mind. Then I'm gonna come right behind her, and then I'm gonna come with all of my esoteric and the energy of it and the chakras, and then talking about how you go underneath that and how your wings come out and all of this. Y'all, man, listen.
y'all are getting double doses,
Listen, it is
double
it's
doses.
and if you feel like what in the
World.
God creation is happening right now, stay tuned. It's bitter, better, greater. We might have to add some time. Y'all understand what I'm saying here, ladies and
This has
gentlemen?
been an amazing conversation, Tamika.
I'm serious. I'm calling you later, for real.
Okay. Y'all see how she do. But I hope this has I hope this has had value for you. We can't wait to next week. I don't know what we're gonna talk about next week. I'll be sitting up here telling a fallacy if I knew like right now. Anything can come up within the next 7 days, but in between time, I want y'all to begin to really focus on like trying to find like who you are. Like
I want to,
like
yes,
the
and
really
I want to
and
piggyback
unashamedly.
that part because it's really good. That part.
Tamika, you want to leave them with something before we
Yeah, I do. I
out of here?
want I want to leave the audience with the first of all to imagine in this space right now. I want you to go back and watch this. And I want you to imagine in this space right now, as you watch the two of us and what just happened in this dynamic, imagine what can happen when you commit to getting to know your innermost self by being 100% vulnerable. Right now, the new buzzword is authentic.
Mm.
And in order to be authentic, you got to sit in your fertilizer,
Yeah.
okay? And grow. Because now it's time to truly, truly, truly come into the essence and the true presence of who you are. And I'll tell you this part. Once you really get to know you, you might decide that you love you. And people that you say that you want around you that can celebrate you and also make you shine. Because can't nobody love you like you love you. And I'm going to pause right there because I know I love me some me. And I
All
love
right.
you.
Well
Okay.
said, girl. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
Uh,
So